Good morning, students. This is the part 2. Today I am going to discuss with you of chapter Societal Impact. So, in this chapter, we have done earlier many topics. Now, this is the part 2. I will start from plagiarism. It is stealing someone else's intellectual work, like if others' work we are stealing and representing it as your own work without giving credit to the creator, without citing the source of information. That is called plagiarism. Okay, so means we are stealing someone's work and we are using it for their work, for their purpose without crediting it. So now any of the following act would be termed as plagiarism. So now the first thing, using some other author work without giving credit to the author, using someone else's work in incorrect form they intended originally by the author or the creator. Third is here modifying or lifting someone production such as music composition without attributing it to the creator of the work. So giving incorrect or incorrect source of information, wrongful citation. So this is a part of the parallelogram. How not to plagiarize? To avoid the plagiarism, you must give the credit whenever you use. So we have to give the credit to that person. The first is your another person idea, opinion or theory. Quotations of another person actual spoken or written words, or paraphrase of another person's spoken or written words. We have to be give the credit. Okay, next is here parallelogram is a offense if plagiarism involve copying not only the ideas but also the substantial portion of a copyrighted work without permission. It would amount to both copyright and infringement, and the violation of the special right of the author can be credited. Copyright infringement and the violation of author right to be credited are both civil wrongs, and criminal charges may be filed. Both civil suit and criminal charges are punishable offense. So we have to be taken care of these things. We should not steal other work and we should not use it and not giving credit to other person. That is the concept. Next we have the topic here, open source philosophy. Broadly, the term open source software is used to refer to those categories of softwares or programs whose license do not impose much condition. Means if you want to take the license, there will be not many conditions to buy that particular to use that particular software. Such software generally gives the user freedom to run, to use the software for any purpose, to study and to modify the program and to redistribute the copies of either the original or modified program. Means the open source philosophy concept help the user that uh, a user can easily run the software, use the software, study it, modify it, and redistribute the copy of the original software without paying any royalty to the previous developer. That is called open source philosophy. I hope you understood. Now we have terminology. You must be clear about the two terms which are often misunderstood and misinterpreted. These terms are, what is the basically difference between free software and open source software? The meaning of free software means the software is freely accessible and can be freely used, changed, improved, or copied and distributed by all who wish to do so. and no payment are to be made for these software. Means in free case we can freely used, we can change, we can even improve, we can copy it, and we can even distribute. So we can do all the things if we are using a free software. So now free software is matter a liberty of not the price. To understand the concept, you should think of free as free speech. Free software is a matter of the user freedom to run. Even we can copy it, distribute it, study it, change it, and improve it. It refers four kind of freedom: the freedom to run the program for any purpose, the freedom to study how the program work, adapt to the your access to the source code is a precondition of this. You can get the source code also. The freedom to redistribute the copies, you can help your neighbor. The freedom to improve the program, you can release the improvement. A program is a free software if user have all of these freedoms. Next we have here open source software. Free we have done, now open source. Open source software on the other hand can be freely used. Modification, constructing software, all are coming, but it does not have to be free of charge. Means the company constructing the business model around open source software may receive the payment, they can get the payment. Further development. What is important to know here? Open source software, the source code is freely available to the customer. Philosophy of open source software. Open source software is free as well as open belongs to the flaws. Free and open source software. So it means open source does not means to access the source code. The distribution term must complete the following criteria. Free distribution, no restriction of the redistribution of the software, whereas whole or as a part. Source code, the program must include the source code and must follow the distribution in the sources as well as the compiled code. Derived work, the license must allow the modification and the derived work and must allow them to be distributed under the same term as a license of original software. It means license help you to modify and to derive the work and allow the distributed work can be taken from the original software. Integrity of the author source code must maintain. Any addition or modification can be carried out from the original version. Should carry the different name. It should be the different name but not the same version which is already developed. The different version name will be there if you are developing a new version from the existing one. No discrimination against personal group. The license must not discriminate against any person or group of person. No discrimination against the endeavor. The license must not restrict from making use of program in a specific field. Example, it may not restrict the program used in the business. It can be used in the research also. Distribution of the license. The right attached to the program must apply to all whom the program is redistributed. I hope you understood that. What does the meaning of the source code, meaning of that. Now we have OSS and flaws. OSS open source software, flaws free library open source software. So which refer the software whose source code is available to the customer. It can be modified, redistributed without any limitation. And OSS may come free of cost or with a payment of nominal charges. In case of the open source, we have to pay the nominal charges that it developer may charge in the name of development. Support of software flaws refer to the free library and open source. Free library and open source software flaws is used to refer to a software which is both free as well as open source. Here are the word library is a Spanish and liber is a Portuguese word, means freedom. So in case of the flaws, it is free as well as open. So it means we have no need to pay for it because it is a combination of both. Now GNU. GNU refers to the GNUs not for Unix. GNU project emphasize on the freedom. The GNU project was initially by Richard M. Stallman with the objective to create an operating system, and it offers a wide range of the software including application apart from the operating system. So it is basically used for the Unix operating system to provide you the graphics environment. Now we have FSF. FSF is a free foundation software. FSF is a non-profit organization created for the purpose of supporting free software movement. FSF in the year of 1985 to support the GNU project and GNU license. Nowadays, it is work on legal and structural issues of the free software community. So FSF you can say is a non-profit organization. The purpose is to help for developing a software. It is basically free of cost and it is developed in the year of 1985. The software which the project you are developing for GNU and GNU license also it supports, and it also works for the legal and the structural issues which comes under the free softwares. Now we have OSI. OSI is called the Open Source Initiative. It is basically an organization. The role of that organization is to promote or source program promote the promotion of the source program. Bruce Pinks and Eric Raymond were the founder of OSI in the year of 1998. It specifies the criteria of OSS and properly defines the terms and the specification of OSS. OSS does not mean to access the source code. It means distribution of the source software must be according to the criteria which is created by the OSI standard suite. So this is the basically a organization which help you to promote the source softwares, and it helps to promote the free softwares also. Freeware it's generally used for the software which is available free of cost, which allows to copy further distribution but not modification.